Hey everybody, welcome back behind the bar with me this evening. This evening I wanted to do another stout. Shocking. All I've done since I started making video games was doing stout, but 'tis the season. So tonight we're going to check out a beer I actually just got today from my buddy Oz. We got some in from a buddy of his out in Virginia area. Long time, if you look at the past in the channel, Jesus, I can't talk tonight. Channel favorite, Aslin Brewing Company. This is Bale. I don't think I've reviewed any of their stouts. I know I filmed a review of El Rio a while back that I never got around to posting, and I've lost the video, so I can't pour it. So, can't post it. Pouring this one out, actually pours pretty cola-like. Not exactly what I would call like a deep, like viscous stout pour. Let's see. This is an imperial stout brewed with peanut butter, cocoa nibs, and caramel. 13.5%. This is a collab with Casa Agria, which I don't know if I've reviewed a Casa Agria beer. I think I have. I think I reviewed one or two of them. Actually, I think there's some right in here. But regardless, that's what we're going to drink. I like Bale. This is the third or fourth release of this beer. I had the first two, and I loved them. El Rio was the barrel-aged version of this that I actually did film a review of but didn't post, and it was really good. Super sweet, but it was amazing. There's a slight variation in it called Harrisonburg. I think that's what it's called. That had graham crackers in it. I loved that beer. So let's dive in and see what she smells like. Wow. This is just huge sweet peanut butter. Just huge sweet peanut butter. Maybe a little bit of coffee. Sweet vanilla notes. But just big creamy peanut butter. Nice caramel. Like salted caramel. No real roastiness. This is, if you've had Aslin stouts, they are typically super sweet, super pastry, super forward, which I dig. So, but this is just overly just wafting out of the glass sweetness. Smells amazing. Let's dive in. Oz, thank you very much, buddy. Cheers. Oh, wow. So that was not what I expected. Cocoa nibs and caramel. This doesn't say this has doesn't say it has coffee. I get like a lot of coffee, like ground coffee. First off, mouthfeel. A little thinner than I remember this beer, but Aslin stouts typically, some of them are thick, but for the most part, they're just kind of on the medium scale, and I would say this is right there with that. For 13.5%, maybe get a little bit of booziness on the finish. Tastes a little warm. But this was super sweet on the nose. And it is not sweet on the taste. This is not what I remember this beer being. It tastes a little thinner than I remember. And it's just like, I don't know if it's the roastiness from the stout, that it's just a super big roasty stout and they didn't get enough adjunct in to like cover that up. Or if there's coffee in this, or what. Maybe even kind of like a bitterness from the cocoa nibs. If they're like really roasted. But I don't really get any peanut butter. The nose smelled exactly like I remember this beer. Exactly. I mean, it was getting big, just sweet peanut butter, caramel. But I do not get that at all in the taste. As my palate's adjusting, it's getting a little sweeter. There was just that like bitter, acrid note. Like if you, just like that coffee ground, like that's kind of what it reminded me of. It's like the smell of coffee grounds, like if you were to taste that. That's what it reminded me of. But as I'm kind of acclimating to that, it's balancing out a little bit. Yeah. I mean, there's a little bit of peanut butter. Sorry, my nose itches. A little bit of peanut butter in there, a little bit of sweetness. I can't really tell if it's caramel or just a generic sweetness or what it is. But it's, this is not the beer I remember. I don't know. This one stuck around for a while. I don't know if it's because they brewed, they built a new brewery and opened a new brewery. So I don't know if this was something that they brewed on a new system that's larger and they're just dialing it in or something like that. But this one stuck around for a while, like over a week, I think. Because I know when whoever Oz got this from picked it up days after the release for us. So I'm not really sure, but I can say this is not what I remember it being. So the Aslin boys know that I'm a big fan. I've been there, hung out with them, shot a video of their old brewery. That's still a brewery. And reviewed a ton of their beers that I've really been a fan of. This is just not one. I wouldn't seek this batch out if you've had Bale before. As far as like I would think if you give this to me blind, I would think this was some sort of coffee stout. I really would. Yeah, I don't know. It's good. It's not great. So, I mean, if you can get it for cost, I mean, it's worth trying. If you never had any Aslin stouts, like it gives you, it's a good stout. I mean, it's 13.5%, so it's not messing around. It's got good flavor. It's just not, it doesn't taste like what it says. It is not like previous batches of this beer. Like I said, I've had 2 previous ones and they were fantastic. This one, not so much. Like I said, a little bit there. I could go on and on. Kind of the same thing. As far as a grade, I don't really know. I'm not really one for giving grades anymore. I think it's kind of pointless. It's all subjective anyways. My thoughts on a beer, as I've learned over the years, are nowhere near what others are. What I like in a beer is not what other people like typically. Or not typically, but just not everybody likes the same things. So, yeah, I got these for cost, and I'm pretty happy with that. But if I was paying over retail, I wouldn't do it. So, yeah, anyways, that's it, guys. Thanks for coming behind the bar. Thank you for the likes, subscribes, and comments. Until next time. Cheers.